Coach and Company with Jonathan Coachman.
Welcome in now. Very excited to have her, the women's champion from the UFC. Ronda Rousey is here on the Subway Fresh Take Hotline. Ronda, thanks for taking the time to come on the show today. I got to go first to when Dana White decided that he was going to call you and say, hey, we're going to bring women into the UFC, because he was on record as saying that would never happen. Were you surprised that that indeed did take place and now you are part of the UFC?
I wasn't surprised because it was a gold mine from the very beginning, but, you know, it was something I was very, very happy that was finally happening, and it was happening sooner than I thought, and it happened just in time because Strikeforce was folding, and it was either going to happen that the women were going to be pushed out of, you know, televised fighting in general, or they were going to be taken up by the UFC, and it was just very fortuitous that Dana changed his mind just as Strikeforce was ready to close.
A couple of weeks ago, they put you right into the main event, and you took on Liz Carmouche, and you beat her to retain or be awarded the same equivalent title you had in Strikeforce. But you sold out that arena, and you were the reason that people came to watch. When you walked out, I read a quote that you said you were nervous. Why were you so much more nervous that night than in your previous fights?
I wasn't really nervous. I mean, I was nervous the 2 weeks before. I mean, it's just heightened awareness is pretty much the word. Nerves implies that you're scared, and then though there's like a certain level of fear involved, there's like a fear of failure and stuff like that. When I walk in, I'm just entirely focused. I'm entirely in the moment, and I'm just observing everything that's going on. And it was only really after the fight that I was able to really look around and be in awe of the moment, and I didn't really see the scale of the event until after the fight was over, and I was able to really open my eyes to it again.
You know, now you're the female face of the UFC. What do you hope to accomplish, and what are some of your goals for the sport?
I hope that MMA gets to the point that tennis is at, and the women just get equal respect and coverage as the men do.
Well, along those same lines, I'm glad you brought that up. I was reading a report that for the night that you had your pay-per-view, that the co-main event, the guys, made double the money, reportedly, that you made. And again, I know it's your first fight in the UFC, but do you think there will come a time where you make the same money financially as other main eventers?
They made double the reported money. What's not reported is not your business. I'm fine. I'm well taken care of. Don't worry about me.
I get it. I'm just going by what was reported. And yeah. Again, I know it's not always correct, but there is a perception out there sometimes, and you have to fight that perception, I guess, is all I'm asking you.
Yeah. The guys had a little bit, but they've also been fighting in the UFC a whole lot longer.
Right.
I mean, you have to understand that however many fights that you have, your purse goes up. And so, I mean, Yoto Machida and Dan Henderson have had so many UFC fights that their purses have been increasing with every single fight, and this was my first one.
Mm-hmm.
So, the UFC is very kind with the bonuses that they give to their fighters. So, the event did very well. It did better than they expected, and I know I was compensated in very, very well. And
there you go.
I'm led to believe that Liz was as well.
There you go.
You know, you have a real tough, aggressive demeanor. So how do you maintain the feminine side as well as keep that aggressive edge?
I don't know. It has something to do with like mascara and stuff.
Well,
I learned the makeup thing, and like after I was like 21 when I started bartending and stuff like that. Before I was like super jock mode all the time, and I don't know. It's just when I'm in the gym, I'm in fight mode, and when I want to be girly, I'm in girly mode, and when I'm on the couch, I'm in couch mode. It's just like you have all these different sides of you. I don't have enough energy to be super aggressive and mean all the time.
Rhonda, the reason that he's asking is because he was looking at the pictures of you in ESPN, the magazine body issue, and he doesn't want to tell you that. And there were some very cool pictures. He said cool was the word he used. Would you say those pictures of you were cool?
I thought that they were kind of cool. It kind of looked like an 80s, like, hairband kind of Pink Smoke, woo kind of picture. But It was cool. It was very artistically and tastefully done.
There you go.
And yeah, I think it was very
That's
cool.
the word that I would use.
I would call it cool much sooner than I would call it vulgar.
There you go. Well, of course, we would never do anything vulgar at ESPN
never.
anyway. Hey, we got to let you go, but again, we're big fans of yours, and congratulations on making it to the UFC. I know you're going to be successful going forward. We look forward to having you back on many, many times, okay?
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Coach and Company with Jonathan Coachman.